Welcome to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. Today is episode number 233. Stay tuned. Hi, everybody. How are you today? Fall is in the air. Wow, the weather is just amazing today, and I cannot wait to get out in it. And you know what? As soon as I'm through talking to you, I am going to get out in it. I'm going to get out in it because you know I love being in nature. It's one of the best ways that I go out to play. It's the best gift that I give myself. And I hope as you're listening to this that you're figuring out a way that you're going to play today and how you're going to give yourself a gift today. Because you know what? Who else is going to? Anywho, what I want to talk to you about today is about one of my sessions I had with one of my clients this morning, because I think it's really going to help you. And this client was already on a podcast with me, Tracie. She actually did, after her first session, she came on and was interviewed because she had so many things to say about her first session. And I wanted you to hear what she had to say. So she's almost done. And the call that we had today was so interesting because usually when I get on the phone call with her, all she talks about is how amazing she is. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The things that she's learned, she's lost a lot of weight. She's had more aha moments that I can tell you. And the reason I put her on in the beginning on the first podcast was because what she said is that she got her money's worth in the very first podcast. In the very first session that we did. So we did a podcast on it. And the thing that I told her that made it worth everything to her was I taught her, how she could calm her mind down and how she could listen to the voices in her head and the different thoughts in her head and create calm and peace. And today when I got on the phone with her, she was not amazing. And I think it was our first time that she wasn't. She had been very consistently losing weight. Her food journals, she really basically was just eating between the twos and fueling. And this went on and on. And what I want to share with you is that it hasn't been amazing for her. And I want to share this with you for her benefit and for your benefit, because I want you to know it's not all rainbows and daisies over here when we're working. And sometimes the best learning comes from the biggest challenges. So let me give you a little preview about what was actually going on with her over the last 3 weeks that she told me when she told me she's not amazing. And it's just so funny because you'll hear Tracie because she'll come on after she's through with the program and she will talk to you because she's got so much to share. And this one thing that I'm sharing with you is probably life altering for her right now. So here's the deal. I got on the phone with her. She's not amazing. She doesn't sound amazing. And what she proceeded to tell me that over the last few weeks, we had not talked for a couple weeks. Over the last few weeks, she had some kind of an ear infection that was creating some kind of vertigo, and she was going to the doctor, and then he kept giving her medicine, and it really wasn't working. And even on this call, she still wasn't feeling well, and they're trying to find out, what exactly is going on with her. But this is what she says to me. I am so pissed off. I hate taking medicine. I'm so frustrated that I can't get over this. I know what I'm thinking. I know I shouldn't be thinking it, but I can't help it. And my food journal's reflecting it because I don't know what else to do when I feel this bad. So I started eating again. Now, this is what she said to me. And I will tell you, this is probably the first time she ever said anything like this to me. Now, here's the way I want you to hear how this session went. Because the first thing that I said to her is, I guess you thought that you were always going to feel amazing. And she said, well, yeah, I did. She said, I thought I figured the whole thing out. And now that I am just going to feel amazing and my weight's just going to keep coming off and I'm just going to feel like on the top of the world. And I said, well, that's really the problem. Because here's the thing, and this is because, I really have a Buddhist philosophy in terms of my own mind management and how I teach you. And of course, I was just with Pema Chodron this past weekend. And of course, one of the things that she says is that life is like the weather. It always changes. If it's up, it's going to go down. If it's down, it's going to go up. You can depend on it. And for Tracie, it's been up for a while and been extremely amazing for her. And she was shocked that it wasn't. And so that's the first thing that I'm going to impart to you is be prepared to be surprised and be prepared for things to change. And just because she has all these physical symptoms right now, and I know she doesn't like it, and I know you wouldn't like it either. We don't always like what's going on. And just because we don't like it doesn't mean that we can't make peace with it and accept it, right? Because here's what she was doing. She was already physically uncomfortable, but then on top of it, she was adding on to the physical pain by saying, I shouldn't be taking this medicine. This medicine isn't working. This should be over. What's wrong with me? Why can't I change my thinking? Why isn't this over? Why can't this doctor figure it out? And all it was doing was adding more frustration and anger to her emotional mindset when physically she was already feeling terrible. And this is what I want to say to you is like when you're having a circumstance, her circumstance was that she had ear pain, that she had vertigo, that she was losing sleep. She was not getting as much sleep. These were just the circumstances. Now her thought about it was, this shouldn't be happening. And what's wrong with me? Why can't I change it? And the doctor is doing something wrong, and I don't like taking medicine. And all it was doing was adding to her suffering. She was making her emotions stronger and much worse by her thinking. In fact, by the time we were through talking and we started talking through all of this, everything started feeling better because she started managing her mind. The ear was still the same. The vertigo was still the same. But her mind was calmer and so much better because she could accept what was going on. To think that it shouldn't be happening when it is. And, I thought I had it when you never really have it. That's the truth. Things go up and things go down. And what we want to do and what I told Tracie is this is an opportunity for you to learn how to make friends with yourself, which is exactly what my podcast was last week, is how to make friends with yourself. Tracie had a lot of frustration and a lot of anger, and it was really strong. She said it was like a -9. Now, when your emotions are that strong, you can't change anything. The only thing you could possibly do for yourself is to be able to have the capacity to teach yourself to have the capacity to hold that frustration and anger, to allow those emotions to just go through without anything being wrong. Like if it were a friend of yours, a dear friend of yours, where you could just hold the space for her and let her air it out. This is how I feel. It shouldn't be going like this, blah, 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 all of that. And you let her just talk. That's what Tracie needed to do for herself. She needed to hold a space for these feelings. Now, that's what I did for her, is I just held the space for her to tell me these feelings and that I could tell her that it's okay. And I could tell her that this is just what happens. This is just what life is. It's 50-50. Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not. But we don't have to add anything to it, no matter what. And so as we were talking, one of the things that I said to her is when your emotions are, like I talk about the emotional hunger scale being from a 0, the negative emotional hunger scale, from being a 0 to a -10. For her, she was at a -9. Like for the last 3 weeks, she was losing sleep. And I said, when those emotions are that strong, there's only one thing you can do, is hold space for it and let them go through. And she could tell as we were talking that the number was starting to go down from a -9 to a -8 to a -7. Just because we were holding the place, that she could just talk about it and feel it and see it and realize that nothing had gone wrong and that sometimes life is like this. Like life is like the weather. It changes. You can expect it. Like if you, like for us right now, and this is what I was saying to her because we live in the same area of the United States in the Midwest. Right now, the weather is gorgeous. But I know it's going to snow at some point in time and get very, very cold. I already know that. It's weather. It changes. I'm not going to be surprised about it. It's the same thing about your life. It's going to change. Your emotions are going to change. Things are going to change. It's the only thing you can ever depend on is change. And this is what I was saying to her. And she goes, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. And you could hear her as we were talking, calming down. And I know the ear was the same. I know the vertigo was the same. But she was starting to calm down and hold a place for herself. And as the negative emotions started to calm down only because she was allowing it to go through, she was processing it. Then she could start seeing her thinking. And she could see how the things that she was thinking, that it shouldn't be happening. How come I'm not the way I was? Oh my God, Dr. Deb, my food journals, it's going to be terrible. I've lost it. I'm never going to be able to do it again. That all of those is what caused those feelings. She couldn't see it when she was at a -9. You can't see anything when your emotions run that strong. The only thing you can do is hold a place for it. But now that as the emotion was calming down and being processed, now she could see things a little bit clearer. And she could see how the thoughts were creating the emotions. She could see how she was adding on to her own pain. But the only way she could see it was to hold the space to feel it. And that is what I want to offer you today. The same thing that I offered Tracie is to know that life is uncertain. You could actually put life is uncertain in your circumstance line, in the C line. You can prove it in court. No judge would disagree that life is uncertain. We just don't know what's going to happen, right? But we want to be able to be present to what is happening. And we don't want to make whatever is happening in the moment any worse, right? So we always come back and bring ourselves back to the present moment. We bring our thoughts back to the present moment. We bring our mind back to the present moment. And then we can start to see clearly, which is the gift that Tracie gave herself. And the other thing that I just want to remind her of, I did in the session, and I want to remind you of, is that when you see things that you don't like, or when you see yourself doing things that you don't like, I did a podcast on this too. Become furious. Instead of becoming furious, become curious. She was furious, and now she's curious. And that's when everything shows itself and explains itself. And she understands herself so much better, and she'll be so much better prepared for her life overall, is that things go up and that things go down. That life is 50-50. And that in the end, the only thing you need to do is to come back to yourself. And how do you come back? You come back by bringing yourself to what is happening in the present moment. What are you seeing? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And then you're back. It's the same thing with eating. You come back to the present moment of the next meal. Let's say you just went off your protocol, or you just totally overate, or you've been doing too much joy eating for the last couple days. And then you sit down to the next meal and you just ask yourself, where am I? Emotionally and physically. And then what you do is you give yourself the gift of a beautiful fuel meal, and you eat between the twos, and you're back. You have come back. You have come back to yourself. You can do it with eating. You can do it with feelings. You can do it with anything. Bring yourself back. Bring yourself back. Give yourself the gift of learning how to come back. Because that's really the beauty of life, is bringing yourself back to the present moment. It is so much of the Buddhist teachings, and yet it's so simple. Like when you see yourself off to the races someplace, like Tracie, she was off to the frustration and to the anger, and it shouldn't be happening, and it's never going to go away. And then she brought herself back to the present moment when she was talking to me. What was going on? She was talking to me. She was talking to Dr. Deb. She could feel her feet. She could feel her hands. She could see what she was seeing. It wasn't that bad. Her mind was telling her it was terrible. But when she brought herself back, it was okay. That's what I want to offer you this week. When you find you're off to the races, be it with emotions, be it with food, be it in your mind, wherever it is, bring yourself back to the present moment. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What's actually going on? And then you're back. You've brought yourself back. It's the best gift that you'll ever give yourself. Tracie feels it now, And now, because of my session with Tracie, I'm giving you the gift that she got. And I want you to use it. And hey, by the way, I am doing a free class for you again. Yes, I am. Why am I doing a free class? Because I want to help you learn the tools that I've been teaching over the last 4 years. And now is the time when I'm going to do it. And it's on September 28th on Monday at 10:30 Central, 10:30 a.m. Central. You can find out more about it and sign up for it by going to drdebbutler.com/free. And you can sign up for this free class. And I'm also going to tell you more about the group class that will be opening up in October. So, hey, got lots of stuff going on. But you know what? What's going on right now? Where are you? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? And what are you feeling? And now you're back to the present moment. Best gift you could ever give yourself. And I hope I see you in my class. So until next week, what else am I going to say? What else could I say? Please, 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 whatever else you do this week, be very, very kind to yourself. Bye-bye.
I would like to invite you to correspond with Dr. Deborah. Go to iTunes, drdebbutler.com/iTunes. And you can review the show, and you can even give some helpful suggestions on what you would like to talk about in the future to accomplish your mindfulness and your journey into mindfulness. Thank you.